Hello and welcome to SEGA News Bits. I'm your host George, and with me is Barry.
Hello.
And today we're going to be talking about a rumor that happened this weekend. Maybe you guys didn't hear about it, but I wake up, right, and I go on our Discord, which you guys could join if you guys go on our website, segabits.com. And somebody, Sega Uranus, one of our users there, contributor that's given us hot, spicy tips before, posted this image that says, it has basically, and you can see it in the YouTube video, obviously, it says Xbox Game Studios and Sega, power your dreams, June 14th at 9 a.m. PDT and 12 p.m. Eastern Time on Mixer, and it says on the bottom, tune in for exclusive world premieres and more information from our newest creators at Xbox Game Studios. And so I couldn't find anything online about this, so I posted it on Twitter, hoping that somebody would give me more info. Maybe it was a leak. And he posted this link that goes to like a news website on Xbox.com, but when you go to the link, it's 404, right? It doesn't exist. So it was getting traction on Twitter, and I didn't really want to like put fake news up there. So I did a reverse image search at the time, and I only got one hit at the time. Now you get like 230 because people had spread the story. But it went to this 4chan thread where somebody posted it saying, uh-oh, Sega's being bought out. So the story is basically that Sega's going to be bought out by Xbox Game Studios, which is no secret that Xbox Game Studios has been trying to expand. They bought like 10 teams last year. And last year they also did a Twitter post where Sega or Microsoft was going to Sega Studios to talk to them, and or Sega Japan, and that gained traction. And a lot of people online were talking about how, yeah, Sega's going to be bought out and it's going to be announced anytime. And this fake 4chan post is obviously kind of feeding on those rumors to gain some traction, and it got some traction. I saw some big Twitter people posting it saying, I wish this happened. It would make my, I guess, dreams come true. What are your thoughts on this? And there's a long history of Sega and Microsoft being buying them out, right?
Right, and I don't doubt that Microsoft has a lot of money. I know they have a lot of money, but people need to understand that Sega is a lot more than just console games. And to buy out Sega, you would either have to buy their parent company, Sammy, or Sammy would have to completely divest themselves of Sega, kind of like how Rupert Murdoch sold only portions of his company to Disney, but not all of it. So it would be like Sammy would have to be like, well, we're getting out of the console business. We're getting, like, what would happen? Would they get out of the arcade business? Would Microsoft acquire that? Like, there's just so many moving parts there, and I think, I mean, no offense to people who follow this stuff casually, but like, you got to listen to people like us who have been following this for years and know a lot more about the inner workings of the company. It's just like how people get upset when we say there's not going to be a Dreamcast 2 next week, and they're like, well, why? Don't you want it? And it's like, no, we know how things work within Sega, and they don't have, I mean, look at how long it took for them just to make a Mega Drive Mini. And even then they had to rely on third-party support. So it's just, you know, it's like, I guess if you just like Sega's console games, it's a fun, and you are an Xbox fan, it's a fun little idea. But there's so much more to it than that. And plus, the big question is, okay, so let's say let's say this actually did happen, and Game Studios acquired all of Sega. What does this mean?
Including like all their IPs.
And Atlas too, we're not even forgetting that. So basically, all of these Japanese Japanese developers would now be told to shift to Xbox. And then what? Would they change? They'd probably have to change their direction for a lot of things, end a lot of franchises that are very popular in Japan, or they would have to start like publishing to, you know what I mean? Like, would Microsoft be publishing Sega games to Switch? It's just, it's not a good mix. I'll be honest. I don't think it's a good fit at all.
I will say that they have published stuff on Switch. You know, Ori the Blind Forest is a Microsoft game, and it's on Switch. So I could see them doing that, and they're going in this direction where they want to support, just want to make as much money off software as possible. Yeah. But like you said, it'd be kind of a strange move for them. And people are pretending that this is like Microsoft buying a small studio. Like, oh, they bought this RPG studio in the West. Yeah, but this is a whole company, a publisher from Japan that not only, like, they're so intertwined in Japanese, like gambling, Sammy is, that it would just be such a headache. There's like so many rules that come with buying a Japanese company, especially with somebody that owns multi-billion-dollar IPs. And not only that, Sega just literally is cashing out right now and having the last big blockbuster hit movie with the Sonic the Hedgehog movie. That's literally the last movie to make money after this whole thing happened. So I don't know. I don't know if it's worth for Sega to do this. I would love to have one console I could just pick up and play all the Sega stuff. I mean, it would be a dream come true as a person that buys consoles. But I just don't see it happening, and I don't see it being beneficial for like Sega, especially when they're like making Shin Megami Tensei 4 on Nintendo Switch exclusive. It's just kind of weird. I would love to see Sega announce some games for the new Xbox. I don't mind that. I mean, do you?
I mean, yeah, that would be cool. I mean, you got to look at a few things too. So like, Sega's revenue in 2019 was 219 billion yen, right? So, what is that in US dollars? That is 2 billion US dollars. Whereas Microsoft, they do make a lot more, obviously. Their revenue was 125.8 billion. Though you'd have to imagine buying Sammy, Sega, all of their IP, there's a lot more value to it than just their revenue. And by that point, it's a really big purchase. And like you mentioned, the whole gambling aspect, and it's a Japanese company with American connection. It sounds like such a headache to do. Why aren't people just thinking, wow, why doesn't Microsoft just money hat Sega on a few titles? That's a lot easier to do.
Very, like, a lot easier. Not only that, like, why don't they buy an American publisher? Like, why don't they buy EA or something? Like, they feel like that's more valuable to the Xbox brand than a Japanese company, because I gotta be honest with you, I just don't see Japanese people changing their mind on Xbox and the Xbox brand.
Right.
But that's our thoughts on the fake 4chan rumor about Xbox buying out Sega. Tell us what you guys think in the comments below. That's it. I mean, subscribe if you like this channel. Bye.
Bye.
All right.